man. Please. Gabriel, come. Here's the photo. See you guys, I'm tidying out.
So I'm a little nervous, but I can't be afraid anymore.
Questions that only a great parent would ask. So it's perfect that she showed up.
Well, I'm going to pose the hard questions because when somebody pushes you harder, you change.
First time, especially someone that, you know, your kid is...
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself?
Stranger.
You might need something stronger than water after that.
We take it from there.
That you want from Nigel.
And the...
It was just important for us to have this conversation.
6.9. And I gave Alicia flip a coin if you have to.
I love you.
Hey guys. I'm kind of like just quickly getting ready. I'm heading out to my local high street just to get a few bits. But yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it, since we've like connected, or at least since I've actually done like a long form video on YouTube. There's a lot of reasons why. Sorry for me kind of like hesitating, because it's like, you know, when you want to try and find the right words, you want to be concise, but you know, you still want to kind of like be able to explain yourself in a way where people don't necessarily know you, if someone's coming on your channel, your video for the first time, they kind of get a gist of the type of person you are. Anyway, I probably should say, hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Yeah, I literally just want to kind of like be able to stand here and just connect in a way where I feel like is authentic. I feel like it's myself. And yeah, I think that is basically probably one of the main reasons why I kind of like took ages to sit down and record a long form video again. So I'm a mother of one and recently my husband came back to London, initially just for a while, just so we could see each other again, touch base. It's been a long time. Well, it's been about 13 months, but it still feels long, you know, doing long distance, especially with the fact that I was kind of like a new mum, and we were a newly formed family of 3. It was quite tough to live apart from him for so long. That being said, once he did return, I wanted that time to be with him, to immerse ourselves in the experience of being a family of 3 once again, and then also just so that they can bond without me kind of like poking my camera in their faces, you know. And it's been a joy to see. It's been such a joy to see. We've kind of figured out what we wanted to do with our lives. We were kind of like on the fence. Do we want to go back to Dubai? Do we want to stay in London? If we want to stay in London, then obviously there's a whole host of things that we need to do, but because of that, we're gonna need to humble ourselves. You know, we decided that we were gonna stay, try and look for jobs here, but then also stay at my parents' house, which is where I'm currently staying now. And I think for me that was very tough, very tough to deal with, because imagine being away from home for so long, living together by ourselves, doing our own thing on our own schedules, etc, but now having to come back home, back into the home that I grew up in, and having to humble ourselves. Like now we're mindful for not only, you know, what we do, but how what we do affects like my mom and my dad and things like that. So like, for instance, like they're still both working, you know, we have a child. Will Gabe's noise kind of disturb them? Will you know, it disrupt their schedule in any way. Like, we're always mindful. And then also having to, I don't know if anybody else out there has kind of like been through this experience, but you know, when you live apart or live away from your parents for so long, and then you come back, it feels like you're going backwards. Weird kind of like feelings that, you know, remind you of, say, your past self, and you know you've grown as a person. For instance, I know I've grown as a woman. I know now that I'm a mother, you know, all of these things that make me feel like I had a certain degree of success when I was out in Dubai. All that aside, that's part of the reason why I didn't kind of like, I guess, go back to filming straight away. It's more of a thing of, I'm very aware about my situation, and I feel disappointed by it very seriously. I feel disappointed that, you know, I have to kind of resort to going back and living with my parents, but I can't be too hard on myself, because obviously I know the journey that me and Joe have been on, etc. And my parents welcomed us with open arms, so as long as they don't have the issue, then it's fine. But I think for me, it's me, like, there's a degree of pride, you know, having to go back, and then knowing that other people around my age, you know, or even younger than me, are already living in their own apartments, are already kind of like, I guess, settled within their new families, or even if in their independence, like they may not even have to be mothers. Like, there are other women my age who are perhaps more successful than me. So it's like, okay, I don't have certain things, like certain clothes, certain like maybe luxury items, maybe this, maybe that, like, but it does boil down to kind of like what your idea of success is. And I understand that that's why it's pressure that I've put on myself, but I can't help but want to reach out to people who are just like me, at least who have similar types of tastes, you know. But that would mean then I can't actually do that just as yet, because I'm not necessarily on that level yet where I want to be spending extortionate amounts on travel like I used to, or, you know, like clothes, not necessarily clothes, but like accessories, handbags, you know, shoes that I want to, and like I see other girls who I guess are already doing that, and I'm like, well, that's my taste, that's who I kind of want to reach, the kind of girl like that. But then again, it kind of like puts pressure on me, and I'm putting pressure on myself. So it's a mad one, because like I want to say, sorry, I'm still getting ready, and I actually need to run to like the shops really quickly, but got quite deep into the conversation there. But what I mean to say is, I need to forgive myself. I need to realize that I'm an adult, and an adult means making hard decisions that not only affect me, but also affect my family, affect my son, affects my husband. You know, I also need to just kind of like take a step back, look at my life in retrospect, like understand what I should be grateful for. You know, the fact that I've got my health, like after my pregnancy, my C-section was the C-section itself, the surgery wasn't that bad, but the aftermath for me was really hard. So for me to even get up every day, you know, look after my son, like I should be appreciative of that. I should be appreciative of the fact that my husband is back. You know, we're able to spend this time together regardless of what we do. You know, for me as a human, I'm gonna stumble, I'm gonna make mistakes. You know, as a human, it's these mistakes that then put me under fire for me then to kind of like, I guess, rewrite what I'm supposed to do, or at least what is right for me, you know. So whether that be me kind of like having to start again which in this case it is. Like, I have to start from scratch. I have to now find a new job after not working for like a few years. Like, I've been doing freelance, but in terms of like being salaried, like going to a salary job, etc., it's hard because you see everyone already out there making it, already at a certain level, and you can't help but compare. I don't know if it's just me, but it's hard because you can't help but look at people who are already at a certain level where you believe you should be, and but this is what this journey for me is about now, like me documenting me starting again, me becoming a mother, at least becoming the mother that I really want to be, and that's more important. And then hopefully once I do get a job and then more money and things like that, I can then live the way that I truly want to live. And it's about me humbling myself and being real and open and raw and showing you, my audience, or at least my friends, I want to call you, like I want to be able to be open with you and share my true reality, as it were. So yeah, I think a part of me wanted to stay away because I was ashamed with what I was, at least where I am right now, and the fact that I'm not like on top, or I'm not buying a house and renovating it and this and that, and do you know what I mean? And then having to kind of like say, but this is me, this is my true story, this is where I'm at right now. I'm living at my parents' house. I have a son, my husband lives here as well. My husband obviously is now working here, but I need to now find a job. Then it's our journey about trying to at least get onto the property ladder, move our family out from my parents' house to a new place, if we want to do that straight away, if we want to stay and then just stack money, and all of these things. Like we've discussed it, and it's one of those things where we can never really truly know how our lives are going to pan out in the future. We just have to have that hope that it's going to be the way we want it, or it's going to be the way we truly see ourselves that we deserve, or we're going to be okay. At the end of the day, it's one of those things where if I take the small steps towards that journey or towards that bigger goal, then at least in my heart of hearts, I feel content knowing that eventually we'll be there. And that for me is what's more important. And that for me is what I truly want to share. So yeah, on that note, I'm gonna quickly finish getting ready, and then me and Gabe are gonna head out to the high road. See you later. Hey y'all, so on the way to the high road, and I just had a few thoughts. So back to what I was kind of saying before, I should probably give a little background. So me and Joe moved to Dubai like how many years ago, babe? 7 years ago? 6 years ago. I quit my job, and then I was looking for another job, but then unfortunately lockdown happened, and all of the jobs that I had on the pipeline all fell through because obviously budgeting problems. Then me and Joe got pregnant, and then it was time for me to go home. So then we were back home, and it was time to reevaluate. Obviously, when I was pregnant, it gave me lots of time to think. And then, yeah, eventually I had Gabe, then Joe came to join us. So then we had to think about what we were going to do, where we were going to stay, were we going to go back to Dubai. That was our point of call. But I think we're happy now, staying and starting again. And I think what helps me cope with the whole situation is knowing that we're taking this step back to propel our lives forward and to basically make the best life as we can for Gabe and for us. Gabriel, is this how you're gonna sleep? this talk, it's actually quite deep for me, and I'm very surprised that I haven't kind of like been emotional or anything about it. But you know, starting again isn't easy for anyone, and it's not something that, you know, you should take lightly. But at the same time, everyone's journey is different, and this is mine. So, you know, while I've been home and while I've been looking after Gabe, I have been fortunate enough to make some money from social media, as well as some like freelance gigs. But, you know, I think it makes more sense for me to kind of like head back into the workforce and see what that has for me. But yeah, I mean, I've thought about even changing careers, and even with that, I've been doing courses and stuff like that. Like, I feel like as a human, it's just so good to kind of like keep leveling up, you know, whether that be learning something new about your trade, someone else's trade, whether it be emotionally, whether it be mentally. Like, you know, I feel like everyone needs that chance to kind of like mature in all ways. When it comes to this, with prayer and positivity, like speaking out positivity to the universe, that's when you reap, you know, that positivity back. So that's what I want to get back. And honestly, in this particular period of my life, speaking to God has been so vital. Any time of the day, morning, afternoon, before I eat, after I eat, you know, just before bed. It's so important that I have that time with God. And routed. Someone outside driving like a fool. You see how he broke? Blood clot. Anyway, and also praying with hubby. You know, like having him here, having a sounding board, having someone to lean on, having someone you know is supporting you as well as you're supporting them, and knowing that you're both, I guess, after the same goals is so refreshing. It's so reassuring, you know. So yeah, we try our best to pray together, and even if we don't, we know that we're still both looking towards doing the same thing. So yeah, I'm excited. Anyway, time for me to chop this jollof and salad. And yeah, working towards new me, physically, mentally, and I'm hoping that I can be as transparent as I can along this journey. But yeah, if you're going through the same thing, or if you're going through something similar, just know that you're not alone. You know, you don't have to have it all together, regardless of your age. You know, we as humans are still works in progress, and you know, we shouldn't put any pressure on ourselves. Like, I want people to see that, you know, I'm, you know, a diamond in the rough. Like, I'm not quite as smooth and as polished as I like to be, but you know, I know what I want to kind of like reach. I know what I want to attain. And you know, like I said, it's a journey. So yeah, anywho, I'll probably leave the video here, but thank you for coming along with me, for just like listening. You know, this for me is almost therapeutic as well, being able to kind of actually share what's deeply on my heart. And I'm hoping, as it's kind of like nourishing me, as it's kind of like enlightening me, or at least alleviating some of my stress, my burden, knowing that there are people out there that also kind of like share similar mindsets, or at least on a similar journey, it's heartwarming. You know, it's nice to know that you're not alone. This world is so huge. You know, you're gonna come across people that not only share the same taste, not only share the same kind of like ideals, but, or you know, they also share similar journeys or similar stories. But anyway, Until the next video, see ya.